Hey folks, it's CJ Miller. I'm sitting outside actually, uh, taking in some indirect sunlight. Um, okay, so welcome to Shreveport. Uh, we're across the Red River from beautiful Bossier City, Louisiana, and of course, we would love to have you come check us out. We have lots of things going on, especially in the downtown area. This weekend, I'm going to be at Comic Con. Uh, it's not really it's not called Comic Con. It's called GeekCon. It's our version of Comic Con. We do it every year. It's just a few blocks away from where I live at the convention center in Shreveport. It is great. I'm excited about that. My goal is to I don't know, have some sort of exchange with Brandon Routh, who played Superman in Superman Returns. So that's kind of cool. He's actually kind of my favorite iteration. I was just a touch too young to catch Christopher Reeve at his prime in the Superman movie, although I did see it. But my first Superman major motion picture was Superman 2. And so that was cool. That was cool in my uh, formulary years. And then I went back and saw the original Superman, and I was like, oh, cool. And I thought it was so cool that the uh, Zod and Ursa and Nom were in, they were set up in the first Superman movie. So when I watched that Superman movie retroactively after Superman 2, I was like, wow, you know, cool. So anyway, and I didn't see these uh, movie. I didn't see them in the theater. We didn't have money when they were out of the theater for going to the theater. Uh, and when we did, we were seeing uh, less sci-fi stuff, and we were seeing more uh, family things, or whatever. Like we were fans of Smokey and the Bandit and that franchise of films and Cannonball Run. So Burt Reynolds was a big deal, uh, for my folks. Guys liked his charisma, and you know, women liked his everything, and kids liked the goofiness and the funniness of it, especially uh, Jackie Gleason, Sheriff Buford T. Justice, who was, so we didn't see Superman. Actually, I didn't get into the sci-fi. When the very first sci-fi movie that I saw, I was watching horror movies before I watched sci-fi. And the first sci-fi movie that I saw was Star Trek, Star Trek Three: The Search for Spock. Um, and around that time, we also saw Supergirl with the Helen Slater version. But anyway, yeah, so I'm a big. I love comic books. I was collecting comic books, and we were watching some TV stuff. But I think that was it too. It's like what we saw was a lot of kind of a sci-fi y kind of stuff. There was some of that on TV, but we weren't getting. I don't know. And there's probably something to the fact that we had you know Jackie Gleason in the Cannonball Run and stuff, and not only was he a great comedic uh, guy, but he was good at some serious stuff too. He could pull on a serious affect, as he did in his last movie, The Toy, that he did with Richard Pryor. So he was like, um, it was a comedy, but he played it straight, and he was great at that also. So anyway, what else? So he could do slapstick, or he could do realistic comedy, which is kind of like me speaking to you directly right now, uh, in all my clownishness, but not paying attention to all my clownishness. You know what I mean? As if, oh my god, So if I'm goofy in any sort of way, and people get that or laugh at it or something like that, it's it's just a part of who I am, and it's not necessarily I'm not actually like uh, portraying any of those qualities or whatever. So that's the best kind of comedy. That's a realistic kind of comedy, you know. So anyway, I don't know. Uh, hmm. Where were they at? Oh yeah, GeekCon. That's all next week. Uh, later on today, later on today, I will be going over to the boardwalk. Uh, the movie that I'm going to see premiered uh, early premiere on Thursday, officially premiere on Friday, but it is The Last Voyage of the Demeter. Um, I don't want to spoil it, but I read the book, and it's you know uh, uh, based on Dracula, and it's based on the ship in which Dracula arrives in London, and very little is in the novel Dracula, Bram Stoker's Dracula. Um, very little about that. It has to do with like I think maybe what there is revealed about it is from a ledger or something like that. I think yeah, I don't want to spoil it, but everybody's dead. you know, um, we know that those of us who know Dracula and the lore and everything. Um, what we don't know is, and what this movie is about, is not so much about the ending. It's going to be about what happens that we get to the ending. Like we know the ending, you know. It's kind of like, you know, well, so the movie and the novel Carrie, everybody knows about that. Carrie goes to the prom and she gets pig blood dumped on her, and then she freaks out in a telekinetic way and seeks a revenge. It's that versions of a mass killing or shooting. By the way, it's not with the gun though; it's with telekinesis. But what we what we don't know, if you haven't read the novel, and if you haven't read or if you haven't seen the Brian De Palma movie, or either of the two remakes or the sequel or whatever, if you don't know, then what you want to do is you maybe want to check those out so that you get the events, because everybody knows what happens in that movie, Carrie. Uh, but it's all about, so it's not so much about the ending the way the novel was written. The novel was written by Stephen King with the knowledge of what happened. There was a fire, and eventually it was set by Carrie. And then what we get is going on is like how it was set by Carrie, but it's the journey of her awakening telekinesis. And so it's not about the ending; it is about what happens throughout the movie to get to the ending, and that uh, is what the last voyage of the Demeter will be about. Now, I haven't seen it, but I'm going to see it today because I'm going with a friend. And Tuesdays, they do $5 matinee. I wanted to go see it upon its release. I probably will go ahead and guess that I'm going to rate it as a S for standard, even though I'm seeing it in a matinee time. That I'm going to pay a matinee price. I would pay a standard price to see it already. But yeah, and I'll do an actual like post uh, post viewing review later on. Okay, so um, yeah, I'm chilling out here, just kind of relaxing, getting a little bit of. It's really good to get out if you can. The sun gives us vitamin D, so yeah, we don't get out in the sun. We gotta take vitamins to supplement that vitamin D or whatever. So uh, meaning that we need vitamin D to help us absorb calcium from dairy products so we get stronger bones and things like that too. Anyway, love you guys. Peace. Bye. Oh, love and light, and look for a post movie video uh, later on this evening.